Hello. I felt so compelled to hop on and to just share some thoughts, some feelings, just some things that I've been reflecting on. What prompted this is that I recently received a comment on my video on how my relationship ended, with how someone shared that they were going through something similar, and it was uplifting to hear that they went through something similar that I did. And, other than that, I've gotten a lot of other messages just of people appreciating me for being vulnerable and to share my feelings and share my thoughts of how my relationship ended because it resonated with them, since they went through the same thing. And that makes me feel so, oh my God, that makes me feel so happy, to know that me being open, me being vulnerable, me just sharing something so personal and it's just so, just so personal to me, has made people feel seen and understood, right? And it's helped people, um, for because they can relate, right? Because they went through something similar. And yeah, I'm so glad that I yeah, I'm just so glad I do these videos and I talk about myself and I'm putting myself out there, right? Because if it helps at least one other person out there, then that's truly such a gift. Truly such a gift. And it really is so eye opening because, I feel like, we have this idea or thought that whatever we're going through, no one else can relate, or no one else understands exactly how we feel, or no one else just knows what we're going through. But really, we're all more similar than we are different, right? We all go through heartbreak, we all feel these feelings, we all go through times of stress, times of hurt, times of pain, times of such happiness, such joy. All of these things we all feel. So, whatever we feel inside, other people have felt too, right? We're not so alone. We're not so alone with how we feel. Um, and I think we may feel like no one else understands or no one else truly sees us or any of that, because even though I feel like we live in an age, in an era where, we're just so connected, right, to every corner of the earth. We can connect to people thousands of miles away. I feel like we're just so disconnected with each other. Um, yeah, we're just so disconnected with each other, truly. Um, and yes, there's lots of factors that contribute to that. I think social media, right? Or I feel like that's just a really big factor. Social media, technology, just all of these things that isolate us from each other. Um, just creates this need, or just really amplifies and shows how important it is to connect to people, to get off the screen and to just be present with people, connect, you know. Um, yeah, I think social media sucks. Social media and technology and just being on our phones all day and just, you know, the less face to face interaction that we have, just more problems, more, the more lonely we feel, right? The more we feel that no one really understands us, or less we feel connected to people, right? And at our core, what we crave is human connection. What we crave is love. That's at our core. We want to love and to be loved. Um, so, and I feel like this all just, the less connection, the less human interaction, the more to ourselves that we are, and how, yeah, the more how society is, with how we just stick to ourselves. Um, I don't know. It's just, it's not conducive to being spiritually healthy, to being spiritually healthy. To have your soul feel just nourished, right? Because we all need to connect with other people. You know, why are we so afraid to connect with other people too? Um, why are we so afraid to just be who we are, to feel what we feel, to love so hard? Why? I feel like there's a stigma of, you can't express your emotions so deeply. It, people would point out if you're crying, right? If I'm watching a sad movie from, you know, it, growing up, I've always kind of felt ashamed of crying, or just if someone says something just so um, touching and heartwarming, I'll cry, right? And I feel like just growing up, I've felt ashamed, or I just never understood why people would react to me doing this natural response, right? So I don't know. I feel like, and that, why does that make me seem weak, right? And why are boys, especially men, right, discouraged from crying, from showing emotion? Why do they have to act tough all the time, right? Why are there just, where where does this even come from? Like, society just expects all of us to not express how we feel, especially men. And that just creates anyway, yes. Just, it's not healthy, right, to not express how you feel. Why can't we feel what we feel? Why can't we love how we love? Why can't we just be who we are? Because if we're not expressing ourselves, that's true to ourselves, then how can we cultivate a stronger, meaningful connection with someone else, right? Like, how can we connect with other people if we're not letting ourselves be who we are, if we're not honoring what we feel? You know, if you love deeply, then love deeply. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. If you want to tell someone you love them, tell them you love them, right? One of the regrets of the dying is that people wish they expressed themselves. So, and I agree, right? There are times I still think back to this day from like years ago. I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have said this, or you know, I have more regret of what I didn't say versus what I said. So I, I just, yeah, growing up, I'd feel ashamed for feeling too much or loving so hard, but really, I think that's so admirable. And one of my favorite sitcoms ever is How I Met Your Mother. And one of my favorite characters is Ted Mosby. And he gets a lot of hate as a character because he just moves and acts so intensely, right? He loves so hard. He just is trying so hard to find the one, and he's just so resilient, right? And I just, yeah, he gets a lot of hate. I think it's just so admirable to love so deeply, to act with so much love, um, and so much care, and just, I think we can all learn from Ted Mosby, right? To move and act with love. And it's not foolish to do that. It's not weak to express how you truly feel. Um, yeah, it's not weak. It's admirable. It's something that we can all learn from Ted. So I I think I'm just rambling on or just jumping from topic to topic, but my point is in making this video is that really so much good can come from expressing how you feel to others. So much good can come from being who you are, and with every situation you come across, just acting and moving with authenticity, right? Just being yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna regret not having given it your all with who you are, with all of you. Yeah, and I, yeah, whoever's watching this, I hope you feel empowered. I hope you don't feel ashamed or embarrassed to just be you. Uh, and you know, we're here for just such a short while. Time flies so fast. Time flies. So whatever you want to say to someone, just say it. However you feel, whatever you want to express, put it all out there because a lot of good can come from it.